Welcome back to the newspaper review segment on the program this morning. We have interesting stories on the front pages of the dailies. Let's kickstart with the Nation newspaper, and the big story there on the front page of the newspaper. They're saying PDP crisis, Iron triumphs, returns as party's national secretary. And the writer is talking about Supreme Court reverses judgment, sacking him as scribe. Ologwagba Ude Okoye remains national secretary. Verdict confirms he should not judicial matter. Well, we hope to see how the PDP crisis will end with all this back and forth. Let's move on now to the Rivers emergency rule. Okay, away from that, let's quickly look at the Saturday Punch. And the big one there is talking about Rivers emergency rule as APC opposition continue battle as PDP governors head for court. Now, the writer is talking about we can't watch democracy trampled upon, says Governor Makinde. Sole administrator received withheld local government funds, other salary payments. And that's all about the Rivers emergency rule. More stories on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. Matrimonial battle, how UK-based Nigerian women exploit law to chase out husbands. Well, you can get details of that inside the Punch this morning. PDP crisis deepens as Supreme Court reinstate Anyanwu as secretary. Let's look at other papers at the moment this morning. The Platform Times is talking about no senator received $15,000 US bribe to pass emergency rule. That's coming from the president of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and Nnamdi Kanu apologizes in court for misconduct, seeks forgiveness. And we have 186 million naira fine. Tribunal reverses judgment in Coca-Cola's appeal against FCCPC. And FG releases Rivers withheld funds 24 hours after sole administrator takes over. And police arrest lawyer for allegedly shooting teenager to death in Imo. Quite pathetic there. More stories on the front page of Platform Times this morning. Now we have OB, 7 orders lobbying for PDP SDP presidential ticket. Agunloye there is talking. Apologies for that. And Lagos Hospital admits querying nurses over faulty AC complaints. All of the story there on the front page of Platform Times. Let's look at other dailies this morning. We have the blueprint, and the big one is away from Rivers, away from the PDP crisis. This one is talking about ECOWAS war against terrorism. Our standby force will address threats in region. This is coming from Army chiefs. The writer says terrorism incidents increased from 1% to about 4% from 2007 to 2023. That's coming from General Gain. More stories on the front page. Let's look at what the economy is talking about. Bull return as equity markets gained 65 billion naira. And we also talk about the Rivers crisis there. The blueprint is also given, that's the blueprint weekend, is also giving their voice on this particular development. Rivers emergency rule prevented full-blown crisis. This is Arewa think tank talking about the emergency rule in Rivers. More stories on the front page of the dailies away from the blueprint weekend. Let's look at what other papers are also talking. Leadership Weekend is also saying something that patient from hospital with ailment linked to excessive heat. Well, we said when we are opening the show this morning that thank God for the rain last night, and our patients at the moment are going to hospital because of excessive heat in the country. Experts offer safety measures. Temperature rises to about 40 degrees centigrade in states. All of these on the front page of Leadership Weekend. Don't return to sinful act after Ramadan. That's coming from one of the imams there to the Muslims. More stories on the front pages of the dailies. Let's look at this one. Supreme Court judgment sparks fresh tussle for PDP. National Secretary seat. Nigerian's prison still in terrible condition. Visitation panel there all talking about their visitation to Nigerian prisons. And that's how much we can take on the dailies this morning. Okay, I still have one more. The Guardian Weekend. Output of research outlets worries over huge investments, lean harvest at this time. So what do you make about the worries of huge investment and also lean harvest in the country. Discordant tunes in rivers as residents await administrators' plan to restore peace. And Kanu apologizes to court as trial resumes, plead not guilty to fresh charges. And that's how much you can take on the program, the newspaper review this morning. We'll go on a break, and when we come back, we'll talk more on the program this morning. Do not go anywhere.